Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Thursday, October 10th, 2024. Making the headlines tonight, survey in major catchment area in or near Orange Walk Town raises concern. Police investigates Belize City murder, and Kamara family pleads for assistance for return of abducted relatives. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
With the steady increase in prices,
Welcome back with your news. I am MarKeisha Young. A survey is being conducted in an area that is known as a major water catchment area in or near Orange Walk Town. The matter was reported by the UDP's mouthpiece, The Guardian, in this week's edition of the paper. The area where the survey is being conducted is known as the Pasadita area. The paper notes that over the years, the area has been left untouched as it is respected as a watershed area. And a development they say could lead to major flooding of Orange Walk Town. According to the Guardian report, an individual was given permission to survey about 16 acres of the lagoon, which has drawn concerns from other residents. The location falls within the Orange Walk East Division of Honorable Kevin Bernard. He told us this morning that he has objected to any development of the area and raised concerns about it, as he notes that it is a major catchment area. We'll keep following this story. Belize City Police are investigating the murder of 35-year-old Floyd Hyde, a laborer of Reggae Street. The incident occurred at around 7 p.m. when Hyde was leaving to go to the store. Moments later, a family member reported they heard a commotion in the yard and called the police. They then realized that Hyde had been stabbed multiple times. He was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The family of 48-year-old Louis Josue Camara and 19-year-old son Johan Josue Camara is appealing to Belizean authorities to assist in securing their return. Johan's aunt, in a plea on Facebook, explained that he's a student at the educational institution in Quintana Roo and was with his cousin on their way to meet his dad in the Santa Elena community Tuesday. His dad was supposed to give him money for fuel. In sharing an account of what transpired, the aunt said that on their way to his father, Johan and his cousin were intercepted by armed men in a vehicle. He came under fire but managed to reach the location where his father was, only to be grabbed by the men and pushed into their vehicle. The senior Camara then tried to stop the abduction, and that is when he too was pushed into the vehicle and taken. Johan's cousin was left behind. Santiago Xiao Jr., a police officer, passed away earlier this week at only 37 years old. He had long been suffering with a debilitating bone illness that severely impacted his mobility. As a result, he was deemed medically unfit to continue in the job. It was reported in the update on his passing that the Social Security Board had denied him invalidity benefits. Today, the SSB issued a statement in which it clarifies that in determining a person's incapacity for work, their medical board procedures are not based on the government's medical report procedures, and that the report from the government is not the determining factor in the decision-making process. The SSB's medical board comprises 2 or 3 medical doctors. The release states, open quote, "To qualify for invalidity benefit, according to the Social Security Act, Chapter 44 of the Substantive Laws of Belize, you must be under 60 years and be medically certified as an invalid, by a medical board that is permanently unable to do any type of work due to illness," end quote. As such, the board ruled that Xiao did not meet the requirements to receive an invalidity benefit. Xiao appealed the decision to the appeals tribunal, comprising an attorney and representatives for employers and employees. However, he was unsuccessful. To appeal that decision, Xiao would have to go to court. There is no indication he did so. The SSB concludes, open quote, "All insured persons are eligible to access a myriad of benefits from the Social Security Board, provided that the eligibility requirements and qualifying conditions are met. The Social Security Board does not discriminate, nor is it arbitrary. Rather, it is guided by the legislation to administrate the funds," end quote. After the break, diaspora Belizeans safe following passage of Hurricane Milton. Stay with us.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader.
Hurricane Milton wobbled to the south a bit in the final hours before landfall and eventually hit late Wednesday as a Category 3 hurricane in Siesta Key, which is about 70 miles south of Tampa, Florida. Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, said that the damage was widespread and water levels may continue to rise for days, but that it was not the worst case scenario. Over 3 million people are still without power and at least 6 people have died. At least 340 persons and 49 pets had been rescued as of late afternoon. According to Aria Lightfoot, a Belizean living in the Tampa area, the Belizeans she and the Belizean Association are in contact with are safe. She said the experience was very scary.
So it was very scary because the winds were kind of a lot of gusts, a lot of wind gusts. The good thing is I didn't lose power. Um, it flickered for a while, but I never lost power. But the wind is concerning because you don't know what's going to happen. In fact, somebody died today in Tampa Bay because one of the trees fell on them after the storm was over. So just to give you a little idea, this is my neighbor, and that's just to show you. I don't know if you can see it, but that's just to show you some of the damage. And those are wind damages in the neighborhood. A lot of people started to clean up. Some people haven't even come out as yet because they're recommending that people stay put until the security and stuff can be addressed. Um, Regarding Belizeans, we do belong to a Belize. I am one of the board members for the Belize Association. The people who are in the group are well. A lot of people lost electricity. Um, some of them, I don't think any of them, but my stepson, he had flooding. He's in Lakeland. And my other stepson, they lost power. My son, that's in further from where I am, he also had leaking in their house and he had a little bit of flooding.
Lightfoot said that she is relieved that the storm is over and said there was much panic as the storm approached.
Well, I'll tell you something. It's very traumatic. I use that word because it's almost like this warning is coming for days. And it messes with your brain because it goes from it's a one, it's a two, it's a five. Oh my gosh, can it go to a six? And what's going to happen next? And it's that kind of narrative that panics people. When reality is that most of the time, meteorologists do not know what's going to really happen until the last 12 hours of a hurricane. So the build up for 5, 6 days really panic a lot of people, which I understand why they do it because a lot of people don't take it seriously. Especially in Tampa, we get threats almost every year. In fact, every year we get a threat. And when people see things don't happen, they don't take it as serious. I feel relieved because Tampa hasn't been hit directly for over 100 years. The weather is nice. You could feel like um, it feels like a cold front is here right now. The weather is nicer, and I will say that you are thankful the amount of people who reached out. Some people I haven't heard from in years know that I'm in Tampa and they were reaching out. So it in a way you appreciate that type of the fact that your friends are concerned.
Following the passage of Hurricane Milton, a Belizean restaurateur, the owner of DD's BZ Corner, donated 40 plates of food to affected Belizeans. Aria Lightfoot explained that without power, many were unable to cook due to most having electric stoves. She said that the ambassador for diaspora relations, Sandhya Murphy, also reached out.
They actually cook food today, 40 plates for Belizeans who were impacted by the storm. A lot of Belizeans have electrical stoves, and so when the electricity go, they can't cook. Also, so we did have a Belizean who offered food, and of course, there's a lot of facilities that are offering help for Belizeans. And then we did have the ambassador of Diaspora Affairs. She was reaching out to Belizeans and she sent out a list of emergency numbers. So that was good. And of course, um, Naval String Connections. We'll be talking a little bit more about the hurricane tonight.
Lightfoot will have more on Hurricane Milton on Naval String Connections at 7:30 p.m. on XTV tonight. A yearly poll conducted by Viking Strategies commissioned by the Ashcroft Alliance for such work since 2010 indicates that the ruling of People's United Party is favored for a modest victory in the next general elections over the opposition United Democratic Party. The poll was conducted in person with a sample of 1,000 from June 17th to August 16th. It has a margin of error that is 3.2%. The results of the poll were released in the last week of September, and today the founder and president of Viking, Trevor Olson, was in Belize to unpack the findings. He provided a breakdown on the political perceptions about who is most favored to win the next general elections.
What you see here is 57% of Belizeans, which is the best they've ever done in an election, are at least open to voting for the PUP. Right now, with the UDP, with their leadership struggles, it's 47%. Now remember, the best UDP ever did was 56, right? Like in 99, maybe? Is that right? Was it 99? No, it was when they threw. It's when they threw them out. No, yeah, yes, exactly. 2008, when they got elected the first time with Dean. So it clearly can be higher, but right now it's not. So it's all about floor and ceiling, right? The floor for the UDP based on the various ones is 31%. They're very unlikely to only get 31%, but that is the minimum they could get. 47 is the maximum.
Olson said any positive perception of the UDP is currently being hindered by the chronic disunity it is suffering.
So, PUP strengths, they're the favorites. Rising crime is their key challenge. Economic difficulties, kind of neutral forum, corruption concerns, infrastructure, need for engagement. UDP, they've got to navigate the leadership challenges that they have. When they got cleaned out, they have 5, is it 5? Yeah, they have 5 members currently. They have Shine, they have Hugo Pott, Pelfrey, Patrick, and Sister B, right, Sister B, and Sister B is not running again. But when you think about those people that are leading, right, so of them, most of them have either been around or are part of a family that have all been around. Obviously, Tracy Patton has. I think it's true whoever's going to lead the party, and so he's the current leader, and if they decide somebody else is going to be the leader, the same reality is true to them. They have to get as a party, they have to stop talking about themselves and their internal drama and start talking about the people of Belize and what the people of Belize care about. And they care about crime, they care about corruption, they care about the economic situation and rising prices. And the irony of this thing is, those are actually places where the UDP is at least as an equal playing field with the PUP in terms of Belizeans. And the more time you, in politics, when you're busy talking about yourself, not talking about your opponent, you're losing.
For his part, opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow downplayed the validity of the poll, and when asked to comment on the view that he is not working to consolidate the party to win a majority of 16 seats in the next general elections, he heaped criticism on the Alliance for Democracy led by Honorable Tracy Panton.
The Central Executive and the National Party Council will deal with it at that time.
Do you fear that this could weaken the party even more, because the party is certainly, I believe you will concede, weakened by the loss of Tracy Panther, Patrick Farmer, two elected representatives.
I believe that having two elected representatives that want to lead the party by all means, that have no regard for the rule of law, they should change their name to the Alliance Against Democracy. This is the most anti-democratic grouping.
In more political news, at the last House meeting, Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Moses Shan Barrow, abstained on a motion in support of Taiwan that also celebrated the 35 years of diplomatic relations this year between the two countries. The reason for the abstention was that he believes the country is getting involved in Belize's partisan politics based on the manner in which it is distributing some grant funding. As we shared, a majority of National Party Council delegates voted to express support for Taiwan. Barrow told the media this week that he must abide by the majority decision.
In discussing the matter with colleagues, it was clear that the majority, while people understood the complaints that I had as far as interfering in our democracy and the millions of dollars given to the NGO for the Prime Minister's family, etc., they still felt grateful, as the motion says, for all that Taiwan has done for both UDP and PUP governments in the benefit of the Belizean people, and so I respect the wishes of my colleagues.
So have you resigned from your position vis-a-vis Taiwan, that they specifically were undermining democracy or the democratic process in Belize?
The complaints are valid. The complaints are there. It is not a matter of walking back the complaints. The complaints are there. They're facts. They're actual facts. But the position is that you have your complaints, we have our complaints, but we celebrate the 35 years and we are grateful for the contributions that Taiwan has made to the country of Belize.
In police news, a 31-year-old man from the Corozal district has been charged with 3 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse with his 13-year-old stepdaughter. She reported the crime in the company of her mother on August 30th. The incidents started with inappropriate touching when she was 11 years old. A medical examination confirmed she was carnally known. Out west, there was a robbery at Lopez Pharmacy in Bamapan on Wednesday at around 12:35 p.m. Several staff members were inside the establishment when 2 males entered. One of them was armed with a firearm and demanded money. They stole $300 in cash before escaping. Police are investigating. After the break, more eggs are being consumed, but farmers hoping for numbers to increase further. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The number of egg consumption per capita in Belize continues to rise. However, according to Belize Poultry Association manager Armando Kuwa, there are not enough data available to say which location is consuming more eggs. However, Kawa also admitted that they are unaware if Belizeans are consuming more eggs or whether the increase is due to consumption in the tourism industry.
For what we can account for, like 152 eggs per capita per person, that's statistical data that we have. But extrapolating that data, because we know there are other eggs out there that are not really produced by our farmers. We have a lot of people producing eggs, and we estimate that to be like 172 per capita consumption of eggs, which is good, but we still have a long way to go. There are some countries who are doing 300. Our neighbor Mexico is doing like 370. Colombia is at 345. Argentina 360. You know, they're big producers and they're big consumers. We're self-sufficient in the production of eggs, so we would like to see more consumption in terms of more kids having access to it.
The Human Rights Commission of Belize is known for the work they do within the amnesty program, as well as assisting migrants. However, the Commission also offers assistance for average Belizeans. The Commission, which is located in Belmopan, offers legal guidance to those who seek it. Two of the more common issues that people seek assistance with is gender-based violence cases and cases involving child custody. Project coordinator at the Human Rights Commission, Liz Aldana, explained more.
We provide legal support, legal guidance for anyone that comes to our office. We are located in Belmopan. We have an emergency number. So whenever a person comes to us seeking redress for any situation where their human rights have been violated, we give them the adequate counseling where they can go, how to access legal services. And in some instances, we have them prepare their police report for persons that can't read and write. Then we would do that and also give them the guidance if they need support to go to the police station to actually do their report. So we have that. We have a paralegal at our office that does that.
Are you able to give us some examples of some of the issues that you tackle with?
One of the major issues that come to us are on gender-based violence, where people would, they would come to seek guidance as to how to go to family court, how to make their reports and stuff like that.
Ombuds Day was observed today for the second time in Belize. The day is normally observed on the second Thursday in October. The theme for this year's day is Ombuds, Here to Hear You. In Belize, the Office of the Ombudsman is on a campaign to spread awareness of the office's duty and how Belizeans can access them. The Ombudsman of Belize, retired Major Gilbert Swazo, spoke of what services are offered to Belizeans and what they are doing to spread this information to the general public.
Ensure that every citizen within the respective jurisdiction, in particular now in Belize, becomes more aware of the work that the Ombudsman does, the roles, the responsibility of serving the vulnerable people in particular. The service of the Ombudsman is free. I believe at this time we still need more awareness so that people can have more access. Now, let me also state then that while the Office of the Ombudsman is in Belize City, we have on several occasions gone to the respective jurisdiction, municipalities, villages with a view to get complaints. We also offer the email service, WhatsApp services and other social media for people to be able to lodge their complaints. We also have collaborated with the Justice of the Peace Association, who has people in every jurisdiction so that then people have access and get the support that they need to be able to articulate their complaint prior to lodging it to the office of the Ombudsman. You're seeing today that we are also collaborating with other organizations so that together we are better able to serve the interests of the people of Belize as it relates to fairness, as it relates to justice, and for them to be able to get the kind of services that they deserve from the public authorities.
And World Egg Day will be observed this Friday, as it is always observed on the second Friday in October. In Belize, the Belize Poultry Association and stakeholders will be having the official observance in San Antonio, Cayo. Each year, a different location is chosen as host. The theme for this year is United by Eggs. Manager of the BPA, Armando Kawa, spoke about what will happen on Friday.
Every year we do this. We ask our companies who are part of egg distribution and marketing to do an event of their choice, and we support them for World Egg Day. And this year, we're doing World Egg Day in the village of San Antonio, Cayo District. We'll be going out there to the San Antonio Roman Catholic Primary School, and we will be doing breakfast for the kids, egg breakfast, different preparations so that they can see how they can eat eggs, and promoting it with their families, because we have invited them to bring their moms who usually drop kids to school to stay for the event. And this year we're partnering with the company from Spanish Lookout, Country Foods, as they do all the marketing of eggs for the Spanish Lookout farmers.
Kawa said that they are encouraging Belizeans to eat more eggs as they help provide a balanced meal.
It's the cheapest source of protein that you can have access to. It's very rich in nutrients, and we normally help our companies promote the consumption of eggs, because we need to make sure that our population gets the proper nutrients. Some people make breakfast with only carbohydrates, only starch, like flour tortilla or bread, and that's not enough. You need the humble egg to be a part of that breakfast. So we're here every year on World Egg Day encouraging Belizeans to consume more eggs because it's beneficial.
And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am MarKeisha Young. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.